Bonjour, welcome back on my channel. I'm Ali, and this is the episode 2 of Simplispooky. So, for this episode, I'm gonna be talking about most of the biggest and scariest experiences I've had regarding my sister, well, my stepsister. So all of the stories I'm gonna be talking about today all happened in the same house with the same people. So my stepsister is Ludivine, then it was my ex-brother-in-law, my nephew Kian, my niece Elwin, and my younger nephew Kaiden. So the house was constructed of the area where you would arrive with the garage, which is kind of like the basement, and then you would have the kitchen, the living room, and then you would go up and you had my sister's room, Kaiden's room, the bathroom, and then you would go up and it was the playpen, Kian's room, and Elwa's room. But the first few things that happened that was quite freaky was when my sister was still pregnant with Kian, and I used to sleep in the nursery, which is where Kian would sleep once he was born. My sister is really religious, so on top of the door we had a cross. The first night was fine, but the second, I woke up, I think it was around 4 in the morning, and I could hear a baby crying. And so next morning I go to my sister and I tell her, and she's like, yeah, it's been happening since a week. I don't know what that come from. Maybe the neighbors, because the walls are very thin. And when I went out of the bedroom of the nursery on the next morning, I looked on the side, so where the staircase was, and I looked on the wall and I saw that it was like a crack on the wall. And I just mentioned it to my sister. She was like, okay, so I'll tell my husband to like fix it. After Kian was born, so I was around 10. During the first few months I didn't visit my sister, and I would like come fairly often to either look after him or to just help my sister, spend some time with her. It was one night, I think my nephew was around 5 or 6 months old, and he had this huge, it was shaped like a house, and it was kind of like a mood light at the same time, so we would turn it on when he was going to sleep. Like, it would only turn on if you press the button, but basically this house mood light would make music as well. And it was like a really chirpy music that would play in the morning most of the time. But it was in the middle of the night, and the thing went on. And so I got up and I was like, that's weird. And so like I opened the door and I look at my sister's not here. And she's like in her room, the door is closed. So I wait for the music to turn off. And I unplug the little house thing, and I went back to bed. And when I woke up 2 hours later, the music was playing while the device was plugged off. That's what made me think that something was going on in the house. And so I got up and I stepped on the cross that was supposed to be hanged above the door that fell down during the night. I go to my sister's bedroom. I'm like, it's really weird. The cross fell down. I unplugged the house and it's still playing music. And she's like, that's okay. Do you want to sleep in the living room instead? So I was like, yes, please. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night one time, but I hear the sound of shattering outside of the house. And my only reflex was I was laying on my back, and so I slowly shifted on my side to be facing towards the door. If you walk from one side to the other, I'm gonna see you walking down the stairs. And I saw a shadow in front of the first window, walking past the window, walking past the door, but not the third window. And it just disappeared. Fast forward to a few years later, my nephew starts to go to school. My sister recently got a new baby, Elwin. And so my nephew went back to school. I think he was around 4 in the afternoon. And so with my sister and my ex-brother-in-law were sitting on the couch and looking at the TV. And so like my brother-in-law looks at the stairs and he's like asking my sister, did Kian bring someone from school? Did he bring a friend? And my sister and myself would turn around and stare at the staircase, and my nephew is here with a little girl. And we're like, yeah, probably. My nephew starts to like go back upstairs with that little girl. That was like really weird. A few days later, I went back home, and my sister was going up the stairs, and she looked over to Kian in his room because he was at school, and he's like, oh, by the way, who was that girl that came at home last time? I was like, oh, it's Margot, she lives here. She was thinking like it maybe his imaginary friend or something like that. And so she just kind of like brushed it off. And that was at the time when my brother-in-law was doing renovation in the house, and so he went to the garage and he saw this gigantic sheet of I can't remember if it was metal or wood, but it was on the floor. And so he lifted it up, and there is a gigantic hole in the floor going down to God knows where. And just put back the iron board on top of it, and then he was starting his renovation. And the subject never came back onto it until one day my niece started to go to school as well. With my niece, she convinced me to sleep in her room, which is all the way upstairs, which is where I feel the least comfortable in the house. And so I go upstairs and I put my bags there, and I get myself ready to be in the room for a few days. And comes the time to sleep, and in the middle of the night I wake up because I feel that my knee is shifting, and I just like turn around a bit, and my niece is standing up, staring at me while I'm in bed. But the only thing I see is that body facing me and just like standing there and not moving. After a while, I have no idea how long, she walks downstairs. And so I'm like, okay, this is over. I'm good. I managed to fall back asleep. And the next day, I go to see my sister, and I'm like, Edwin did something really freaky during the night. She's like, what did she do? And so I tell her she woke up at like 4 in the morning, 3 or 4 in the morning. She woke up and stared at me for a really long time, and she was standing there and not moving at all. Then she decided to go downstairs, and she was like, oh, that's been happening for a few weeks now. She usually comes in my room. And I was like, can you tell me to sleep with her? Me, her, me, Satan. No, this is not happening. I'm not sleeping in her bed anymore. My nephew talked about Margot, and like there was like almost no way that they knew about what they were talking about, or like they like came up with it. Because my nephew said that Margot used to be a little girl during World War II, and she was Jewish, and they don't know if she fell in that hole, or remember the hole in the garage. That hole. They don't know if they fell in that hole, or if she was pushed down there, or if she was put down, or she went down herself to hide from Nazis going down in the town. But she passed away there, and now she stayed here. And so my sister kind of like eased my nephew and was like, you know, you need to like guide her in the right way, and you need to like do those kind of things and like help her kind of like be at peace with herself, because it started to be like really crazy about my niece. Like she would just like throw tantrums, and she would just yell and just scream, and she would hit her brothers, and it was like it was crazy. One time he woke up and he went to see his mom. Was like, Mommy, Mama is gone. From the moment my nephew told that, Elwin started to have nosebleed, like a really intense nosebleed, and then they never talked about Margot anymore. Margot never came. So I'm gonna take like the last really short stories, but I kind of touched it with the bridge in the wall when I talked about my nephew when he was in Iceland. But basically, once my brother-in-law tried to cover up this and fix it with plaster, oh, I can't remember what it was, but I think it was plaster. Once he started to do that, the bridge would come back and like dig through the plaster and like expand a bit. Every time he would try, it would be a bit bigger, and so he started to be really concerned. And my nephew was like, Daddy, don't worry, it's just the sir whose head aches that is sleeping in the wall. And so my sister did some research, and when the house was built, someone that was helping to build the house, someone fell in the foundation, like the skin on his face ripped off, and so his head was aching. And so my sister told him to do the same process that with Margot, and at some point he told his mom, the son whose head is aching is not here anymore. And from that point, my brother-in-law covered up the wall and never came back. So that's it, guys, for this episode. I'll try to upload them a bit more often because I can. And I think the next one may be an exploration in London, according to my friends that I'm gathering, because I may be able to do it. I hope I can, because that's something that would be really fun, to be exploring haunted places in London. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, do whatever you want. You're welcome in the family whenever you want to jump in. I will see you guys later. I love you.